Hey, hey, how's things? So today I'm going to run through a mix that I've been playing around with, and the initial kernel of it is a track that was just put together on a Zoom sample track about 20 years ago, and then just sat on a CD of stuff that never ever got used. And then a couple of years ago, I found it, and I was playing around with the LMMS program, so I put it in there and I made a song with it, and then the individual sort of stems as such I exported out and just kept them. I don't know why I did it, but I'm glad I did. So I put those into Reaper, and then running it through the desk, and pretty simple little sort of 12 tracks in all, no, 11 tracks in all. Sort of guitar, bass, punk rock, yada yada yada. Okay, so nice simple setup. We've got the original 2-track stereo there, which is from the Zoom sample track from a couple of decades ago. It's got a bit of everything in there. There's a bit of reverb in there, but I kept it mainly for the guitar lick, which we'll come to in a minute. Then we've got a kick, snare, hat and crash, which were programmed in LMMS. Along to that track, we've got a bass guitar, secondary guitar, a main guitar, which were all recorded on a Zoom R24 using whatever internal amp simulators are in there, and also recorded on there with the 2 vocals. And within Reaper, I've nudged one of the 2, both exactly the same vocal, but I've nudged one of them very slightly to one, a few milliseconds off, so it kind of thickens the sound up and gives it slightly, that slightly rockabilly echo kind of effect. So let's listen to the original. So quite boomy. As I say, I like the little guitar lick is the bit I wanted to do. So we need to, first of all, before we do anything else, need to sort that out. So that's all about the EQ. So if I turn the EQ on, quite a difference. So obviously treble boost, upper mid, boost and boost. Then I've dropped the lower frequencies right down, but I've kept on the right slightly bassier, which then I'm going to offset when I put the bass guitar in, which I'm going to do across to the left. That way I'm going to get a nice defined bass on one side and a bit more sort of boom, boom, boom on the other side. Right, drums. Okay, let's add some drums in. So we've got the kick, we've got the snare, and crash. So kicks, and essentially once the whole mix was done, it kind of worked better just to get the snare slightly to the left. Just brought it out a bit. A hat is going slightly to the right, which obviously wouldn't work in a normal drum kit situation, but it's subtle in there. There's already quite a lot of crash and sort of some kind of cymbal or hat in the original, which, because I've turned the treble up on that, is obviously being accented. So this is just to get the tick tick tick. And then the crash, again, quite subtle. You can hear it quite loud on there, but obviously we haven't got anything else going in yet. So kick's got a tiny little bit of lower mid boost, some mid boost and some treble boost, again to give it some kick 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 click click. Snare, a little bit of bass drop, mid, and again treble. I've just boosted up on the frequency there from 350 to about I don't know, 400, maybe slightly higher. Hat, no treble, same with the crash, no treble boost, little bit of mid and tiny bit of lower mid boost on that one as well. They're not the stars of the show on that one. Bass for your face. So again, I've boosted the mid and the treble on this, as you can probably tell. It's quite clicky, and as I said earlier, I'm panning this one slightly to the left, which is then, so I've got a defined bass on one side, and then I'm going to have a sort of boomier on the other side. So let's bring it against the double, the stereo mix. Okay. That's all the drums brought in. So I'll take the original one out. Getting there, and the guitar. that one goes all the way through. There's another one that's going to pop in a tiny little bit. Let's get it going with the bass. Whoop. Again, I've done mid and treble, a tiny little bit based on the main guitar and on the secondary guitar, which will kick in. That one is very, very slightly bassier and slightly midier. Can't remember the settings they called it now. So let's put that in with everything else. With the exception of any reverb that might have been on the original track, I'm not putting any effects on, so I like the dryness of it. It's kind of in your faciness. And last but not least, the two vocal tracks. So the one on the right's the one that's been slightly delayed by a few milliseconds off from the other one. Both have got a little bit of compression on there. 3 to 1 I think it was. We're taking off about 3 decibels off the top just to keep it from getting a little bit too toppy. And the one on the right's also got a slight distortion on it. And again, as with everything else, I'm boosting the mid and the top just a little bit, and I've cut off the bass. So let's put everything else back in. Don't want the vocals too high in the mix. I think a little bit mysterious. Plus, it's not a hugely synthesizer. It's just so moving on to get it into the main mix, everything has been set to bus 7 and 8, and bus 7 and 8 goes across to the patch bay, which is going to come out. So it comes, that's 7 and 8 there. They go out, they loop round into the inputs for track 23 and 24, which is those two. So I'm going to do any master EQ on the track via that, and then track 24 is going to go out via again sub, which I think was 5 and 6, which then goes into back into Reaper, so as we can record a master 2-track version of the track within Reaper, which you're going to hear at the end of this video. So on the main mix, current listen without the EQ turned on. Let's get it on. Subtle difference with a little bit of bass cut there, a little tiny bit of low mid boost, fraction of mid boost, very smidge of the treble. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? What have I learnt from that? Well, I've learnt don't use a khaki old microphone when you're doing the talkovers. So I've got a nice condenser coming, so I can be like a proper YouTuber. Yeah, so it was good fun to revisit an old track. It's not something I normally do, but it was quite good to see how it would work with a nice desk EQ, because the original was mixed in LMMS and it was as tinny as can be. So get a listen to the song in a minute. I'm doing it as a WAV file direct into the editing software, the video editing. So yeah, you'll get it nice and crisp. So yeah, subscribe, take care. Send me some comments to see what you think of it. I mean, you know, all music's subjective, but yeah, hopefully you like the mix. I'm pretty happy with it, so you know, tickety boo. Cool. Well, take care. Subscribe, like, whatever the things you're supposed to do to make my algorithms soar. And I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.